British house prices rose by 0.9% in June, marking 2 straight months of gains. However, more pain in Spain. French data showing that Spanish house prices fell by 7.6% in the first quarter compared to a year ago. That's the deepest decline on record. Real estate values were hit by plummeting mortgage lending and house sales. Hugh, is it too early to get into property, do you think? Is this kind of one of these pick and choose?
Are you buying, Louisa? Are you in the market?
Well, you know, what are you offering? Have you got a good price for me? I guess everything's for sale.
Thank you. Continue.
Well, you know what? You look at some of these, you know, the values of homes at the moment, and some of it's been beaten down so very much.
Well, Credit Suisse yesterday upgraded KB Home across in the States. They said the good valuations to be had there and a bit more stability going into the market.
Do you know how much I care about that? Do you know how
Probably
significant it is? Credit Suisse upgrading KB Homes. I mean,
I'm just making a pertinent point to the argument. Give me a break.
Do you know what? You know,
We've already talked about our bras today. Can at least be civil to us without arguing about house prices, all right?
It's because I'm drinking fennel tea, you know. But no, many people would agree with you. Yeah, I would say to you that the majority of investors today believe that the last 30 years will continue. So the last 30 years, stock markets have generally gone up. Well, they've gone up a lot, actually, but with these oscillations, the crisis of '87, the crisis of 1991, the LTCM crisis. And therefore, we've created the cult of contrarianism, whereby when prices go down, you come in. So you're right. Property prices, commercial property, there have been falls in price. Yeah? And people have been contrarian and they're leaning into it, and they believe the catalyst is monetary policy. I'm on the other side, which says the last 30 years were a moment in time, quite an extreme moment in time, which will now morph into something else. Yeah? And I don't really get my roadmap from the last 30 years, and so I don't have the confidence to be contrarian in that manner and buy things which are still falling. And that's where we differ. But I haven't seen the future, and the people who are buying property haven't seen the future. We're predicating our decisions on what's happened in the past. They look at 30 years, I look at 300 years. Yeah?
Because, I mean, you know, an adjustment is an adjustment, and people are going to continue to buy. You know, the world will continue to go around, and people need a roof over their heads and all the rest of it. And
yes. But remember, what interfered with that process was that we took on debt and we leveraged, right? So now, debt in America. America took on $54 trillion of debt. Now, to put that into context, the economy is $14 trillion. M3 is $8 trillion. So we actually, as I said, we supersized. It wasn't just Big Macs that we supersized. We supersized the world, and we invented a phantom world, which, when people start retiring away from wishing to take on more debt vis-a-vis their income. Yeah. The reality is quite stark. The reality is you can't afford. You know, you can only afford house prices in the UK, some parts of the UK, on the basis of being able to get a loan-to-value ratio, which is imprudent. You know, so as banking.
We've got rats on our roof, but it's very big rats. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. Got you wrong, Hugh. Then I would have thought that you would have been in the market to, you know, snap up one of these little Miami condos that are up for sale now.
Oh, that's intriguing. The sun is always intriguing. And so, hey, if anything loses 80% of its value, then I think you're right. And with the tremendous overbuild in places like Miami, I expect that you'll be able to buy one of those unfinished condos, if you will, for an 80% haircut. I suspect that. I can't say with any certainty. And so I might go, maybe we should go in December with the Miami Art Fair. We'll get some sun and we'll look at property.
Excellent.
We've got to squeeze in a break, so let's